All right, let's move on now to rule number 13. The enemy also behaves like a false lover who wishes to remain hidden and does not want to be revealed. For when the deceitful man pays court with evil intent to the daughter of some good father or the wife of a good husband, he wants his words and suggestions to be kept secret. He is greatly displeased if the girl reveals to her father or the wife to her husband his deceitful words and depraved intentions, for he then clearly sees that his plans cannot succeed. In like manner, the devil tempts a just soul with his wiles and deceits and wishes they be received and kept in secret. When they are revealed to a confessor or some other spiritual person, the enemy is greatly displeased, for he knows that he cannot succeed. Now you think about this, it's very, very true. If a girl tells her dad or a wife tells her husband that somebody is flirting with them and saying things to them, that other person's plans are destroyed. It's not going to succeed. It's not going to continue. Because they've revealed it. They've told it. So even if, let's say the young lady was slightly tempted, well, because now she's told everything to her parents, there's no way this guy can, slip in there and deceive the parents and into thinking that he's a good guy or something. She's already revealed the kind of person he is to her parents. And so now they're on their guard and they're saying, no way, you're not coming near our daughter. Or the same thing with, imagine a wife who goes to work and some guy at work is flirting with her and she comes home and tells her husband. It's never going to succeed. Nothing's ever going to go on because she's revealed it already. She's already opened it up. And the devil works in the same way. He wants people to keep his suggestions secret. Don't talk about it. And people let it disturb their soul. It churns inside of them. They're all bothered. They're upset. They're depressed. They start thinking, oh, this is horrible. I'm never going to be any good. I can't live this Catholic faith. It's too hard. I've known a number of converts who start off like a ball of fire. And then after a few months or whatever, maybe even a couple of years, all of a sudden they start saying, I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. It's too hard to be Catholic. It's very, very sad when you see something like that happen, because it's usually because that person, as St. Ignatius said, did not talk about it. They did not seek out any advice. I know of a woman who was a convert to the Catholic religion, and not only did she abandon the Catholic faith after some years, she became Jewish, which just totally baffles me. But it made sense in a way, because you know what was happening to her? She was making holy hours and visits to the Blessed Sacrament, and Jesus wasn't giving her what she was praying for. And so basically she said, then you're not the Messiah. You are not the Son of God. And she rejected him. And once she rejected Jesus, then she wasn't a Christian anymore. So she just figured the Messiah hasn't come. It shows you how, things happen to somebody. We only found out about that after the fact, after she had abandoned the Catholic faith. But during the time that she was going through her struggle, she didn't tell anybody. She never talked to anyone, as far as I know. And that's why you have to make sure you go talk to someone. If not to a priest, it would be better to talk to a priest, but if not to a priest, talk to someone that's very spiritual. Someone that you can trust. Someone that you know is going to give you good advice. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. They're not going to just butter you up and say what a great person you are. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. We priests need other priests. Everybody needs somebody else. That's why the Society of St. Pius X has a rule that priests are not to be stationed alone somewhere. Because rule number 13, He won't have anyone to talk to about things. He won't have anyone to turn to. When things start going wrong spiritually or he starts having other problems, who is he going to talk to? Sure, he could pick up the phone, but you're less likely to talk to someone about, a serious thing over the phone. So reveal temptations even to your confessor. Sometimes it helps if you're being tempted with something. For instance, imagine a married person is just slightly tempted to another person. They're slightly tempted to be with another person. Imagine if they went to confession and just confessed that they were tempted that way. Not that they gave in, but they just say, I'm really struggling with this. I've had this temptation now for weeks. And the priest just talks to them a little bit, and all of a sudden the temptation is gone. And they start realizing how stupid that was of me to let that disturb my soul. But that happens to many, many people because they don't reveal things to their confessor, and they just say to themselves, oh, it's nothing. It was just a temptation. I'm not going to worry about it. But then if something stays on their soul, like temptations against the faith, I think that's most important. Well, so are temptations, obviously, against chastity would also be important to reveal. But when someone is tempted against the faith, those are the people that most need to talk. Because I've told you, and I can stand up here and tell you again and again that God has given us so many proofs of the truth of the Catholic religion. There's so many proofs. But a lot of times when we get depressed and things aren't going well, we forget about all the miracles of Lourdes, or we forget about the miracle of the picture of Our Lady of Guadalupe, or the saints, the miracles of the saints and the stigmata on Padre Pio and St. Francis and others, and we forget about all the miracles of the Holy Eucharist. We forget about all of these things and we start to think maybe the Catholic Church isn't the right faith. And, the person starts attending with some friend of theirs. They start attending a non-Catholic service. And these people are good people. They're all nice people. Surely they're not all going to hell. And this person is, little by little, is being led away from the Catholic religion. They start saying to themselves, those people at St. Thomas Becket or whatever their parish is, oh, those people are so uncharitable. All they do is gossip and talk about one another. They're so hateful. They can't have the true religion. Whereas these people at the First Baptist Church, wow, they were so great to me. I remember, I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I remember this elderly lady I was visiting and talking to her at a nursing home. And, she had been Catholic, I think, at one time and no longer was. And I said, but why? Why would you give up the Catholic religion? I was like, I don't know. I went over to this other church, and it was my birthday, and the minister said from the pulpit it was my birthday, and everyone sang happy birthday to me. And that made me feel so good. I just felt so good inside. And I was like, okay, whatever. At that point, basically I gave up, just walked away, because anyone who thinks religion is just in the emotions is basically not a very religious person. They don't have any religion, because emotions change from moment to moment, from day to day. Religion is in your soul. It's something that never changes. It's in your intellect. I believe this. And if you start making your faith, just a part of the way you feel, I feel good today, so I'm going to be Catholic today. I feel lousy today, so I'm not going to be Catholic. Well, then you're nothing. You have no religion. You don't have any, because you have no real faith. It all depends on how you feel. And that's basically what she said. They made me feel good at this other church. Well, then she never believed anyway.